90 years ago, the Virginia Farm Bureau made our local farmers a promise to protect and preserve a way of life they worked so hard to establish. Today, our insurance agents work to protect all Virginians, not just farmers. We want to keep Virginia, Virginia. More information is at farmbureauadvantage.com.
The remarkable soybean. From its oil, we get products like ink, candles, and paint. From its meal, we get a high-protein fiber used in foods and animal feeds. Natural soy is replacing chemicals and products you use every day. You can learn more about soybeans at vasoybean.com.
Hi everybody, welcome to Virginia Farming. I'm Amy Rocher.
And I'm Jeff Ishii.
Today we're at the Virginia Farm Show.
We're going to show you some of the modern technology and some of the services available to Virginia farmers in 2017. We're going to walk around and do a lot of interviews and talk with some very interesting people about some very interesting topics. Stay tuned. This is Virginia Farming. I'm Jeff Ishii.
And I'm Amy Rocher. This week we're visiting the Virginia Farm Show.
It is a wonderful opportunity to bring yourself up to date on some of the modern technology and some of the services available to farmers these days. Amy, I got to meet some really interesting people, and I'm sure you did.
I did too. Take a look. So I've caught up with Anita Quisenberry with DHIA, the Dairy Herd Improvement Association. And Anita, you guys offer some pretty high-tech stuff that farmers can use on their cell phones.
Yes, we do. We have a management program that we work on the computers, and we've also got it advanced now to where the dairy farmers can use their Android cell phones and they can sync it with the computer, so they can actually input cow side. So if they go out to the field and breed a dairy cow, they can actually put that breeding into the cell phone at that moment, and they can actually look up the cow and the data on the cow beside the cow instead of running back and forth to the dairy farm. So it makes it a lot simpler for the farmers.
Now, are there any notifications built into that system, like once the data is put in to follow that cow?
Yes. You put the input into the cell phone, and when you go back to the computer and you sync it with the computer, then all the data is compiled, and it will give you warnings of, like, when you breed the cow, when she's going to be due to calve, or when her next heat will be due.
So, I mean, it really helps, and it keeps that technology, out there in the farmers' hands. They're not worried about pen and paper. They're also not worried about having to read somebody else's handwriting. If they get a page, because a lot of large farms have data input people, and they get paper. Well, what is that number?
Right.
What did you give her?
I'm looking it up, flipping through. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So they can do all this stuff. Cow side, sync it back to the PC Dart. The data input person doesn't have to worry.
Anita, thank you for talking to us today.
Thank you.
We're going to find somebody else to talk to next.
Well, look who I found here at the 2017 Virginia Farm Show, none other than Tom Weaver, who is known by farmers not only in the Shenandoah Valley, but all across the Commonwealth of Virginia. T. Weaver Auctioneering. Tom, you've got a lot of experience in the agriculture industry, but today I want to ask you about the hay auction. The hay auction is, a lot of folks would consider it a new thing, but it's been around for a while.
Yeah, it's been around for 26 years. When I started it, I just kind of started it as a community service, and it's actually gotten into a large business. I was the first known hay auction in the state of Virginia. My hay auction is one of the only hay auctions today that actually the state grades the hay.
I think a lot of our viewers at home might be surprised at all the different types of hay and all the different packages it comes in. A lot of folks at home might be thinking of small square bales for horses, but there's a lot of different packages of hay.
Yes, there is. We now have what they call the large squares, which is a 3x3x7 or a 4x4x7, and you've got all kinds of, I'm going to call it makes of hay. Your alfalfas, your orchard grass, your timothys, and so on. It used to be hay was hay. Today it's not. It's a commodity thing that is really portioned real strict on the dairy farm especially.
Tom, I heard not too long ago that the United States is now exporting hay overseas. What can you tell me about that?
Yes, they are. One of the main reasons, I guess they are, is we have actually one of the top quality hays in the United States as far as vitamins and minerals in that hay. And believe it or not, Rockingham County is actually the top hay county of the state. And the reason is, Rockingham being rocks, it has a lot of land, and this hay actually soaks up your vitamins and minerals in Rockingham County more so than Augusta. So we do really have top quality hays. The weather is your worst enemy on making hay. Yes, you gotta have rain, but if you have rain all the time, you can't make it. If you can make top-notch hay, it's a very good commodity. You can make money making hay.
A lot of people buying hay.
A lot of people buying hay. In the valley, most of our farms are small. You can actually make more money. The bottom line is, if you have 100 or less dairy cows, if you buy your hay at the hay auction, then have all your equipment, which is expensive, put out 10 more acres of corn, have 10 more cows, and buy your hay, and you can do better at the end.
Real pleasure talking with you. Thank you for being our guest.
Thank you.
Tom Weaver with T. Weaver Auctioneering in Rockingham County and Augusta County, Virginia. Now let's go see who Amy found.
So I'm talking with Barry Bergman, and Barry, you are a farmer from Iowa?
Yes.
So not all of our new technology is digital. This new technology is a hitch. Tell me a little bit about it.
Well, it's actually not real new. We've had it for a few years, quite a few years, and it's all mechanical. It is not electric or digital at all. And we developed it, my brother and I developed it for my dad because he was having a hard time climbing on and off the tractor. So we made an automatic hitch, and it worked so good that we patented it and started making it.
So how long have you been selling these?
25 years.
25 years. Now, am I right that you kind of left the farm with your kids and then you come out on the road and sell your product?
Right. I'm still a farmer. I farm in the spring and the fall, and in the summer and the winter I go to farm shows.
Wow. What's some feedback you've gotten?
People really like it. I have lots and lots of people stop in. I've already had several this morning stop in and tell me how well they like my hitch.
Well, I think about it. In days when I was younger, that was one of the most laborious things, was getting the hay wagons hitched and unhitched. It took two people, could never do it by yourself, and took multiple times. And climbing in and out of a tractor, like you said, is really hard on you physically when you have to do it that many times.
Yeah, we sell them a lot for hay wagons and for silage wagons. And the guys that chop silage say they get about 25% more loads per day with our hitch, and it's easier.
Well, sure, it moves faster.
And it's safer. And Agri-Abilities, I don't know if you've heard of Agri-Abilities, but they also buy our hitches for handicapped farmers because if you miss an arm or a leg or something, or just bad knees, they really like our hitch.
Wow.
But even people that are younger, people that can climb on and off, they still like it because it speeds them up. So
it speeds them up. And it's a simple concept,
yes.
Honestly.
Yeah.
So it's simple but brilliant, really.
And we got it patented, and and this, nobody ever thought of it before.
Right. Right. So amazing. Well, Barry, thank you for talking to us.
Thank you for interviewing me. Appreciate it.
Let's go see who Jeff found.
We're talking now with Bill Mollard. He's from the great state of West Virginia, the Mountain State, but today he's over here at the Virginia Farm Show. Bill, I want to thank you for talking with us. One of the more popular demonstrations at the farm show each and every year is processing wood. We're making firewood, splitting firewood. We're going to show you some video of that. But Bill, tell us about your company first.
I'm the distributor for Dyna Products. Dyna Products sells firewood processors for homeowners and commercial firewood producers all across the United States. I'm the distributor for the Mid-Atlantic area. In addition to sales, we also have a rental program as well. If a person wants to rent a firewood processor, come see us. We'll gladly set you up, let you do a try before you buy it type situation.
Let's talk about the marketplace for firewood. There was a time, it seemed like, I know in the 70s, And going into the 80s, with looking at alternative energy, there was a lot of wood stoves being installed.
Yep.
And how is the market now for firewood?
The market is doing well for firewood, even despite low gas prices. I think a lot of the people producing and buying firewood still, to a degree, remember the 70s when we had to wait in line for gas and for fuel. And I don't think people believe that low gas prices are going to last forever. And we also have a group of people that want to be self-sufficient, that believe in having their own heat.
Walk us through the process here, and we're going to show video of this as you're talking. But you're going to take a raw log, and then what do you do with it?
We're going to take a raw log that's been harvested from the woods. We're going to put it on our firewood processor. We're going to bring it into the saw head feed. We're going to cut it, split it, and discharge it into a pile, or with the other machine.
There's a lot of safety mechanisms that are installed.
Yeah, you want to keep your hands out of the point of sawing area and where it's being split. And we have guards on the machine and warning labels to educate people to not do something that's very obvious not to do.
I would think this would be a very handy machine and a tool to have around the farm or a woodlot.
We sell quite a few machines to farmers who have multiple outdoor wood boilers on site, and it's usually one person doing a lot of the work for many, and the one person finally says enough is enough, I'm tired of doing it by hand, let's invest in a firewood processor.
And this machine certainly takes a lot of the effort out of the job, and you turn that raw log.
It sure does. And the other thing that's happening too is the population of our customers are getting older, and they have health issues. They still want to heat with wood, so they're looking for a more mechanized way of producing, and more efficient way of producing firewood as well.
Now, this machine we're looking at today, what capacity or how much wood could one, the old woodchuck, how much wood could a woodchuck cut? So how much wood?
Yeah, we're dating ourselves here. The SC12 model that we have, it will do 1 cord per hour on a production basis, and that's one person operating it, another person feeding it. That machine will do up to 15 inches in diameter and up to 12 feet long in length. That's our entry-level model. It's a commercial-grade model as well. We then step up to the SC14, which this particular model here has a Caterpillar diesel engine on it. We'll do at least 2 cords per hour, maybe even more if you're just making outdoor wood boiler, where you don't have to have it so small.
Well, very good. Bill Mollard with Dyna Products. Again, thank you for taking some time. Let's now go see who Amy found.
All right.
So we've called up with Billy Shahinian with Virginia Farm Bureau.
Yes, ma'am.
And Billy, you're with the products division.
Yes, Virginia Farm Bureau has a products division which we handle approximately 98% of the products that a farmer would use on their farm. Tires, batteries, hydraulic fluid, motor oil, methanol, baler twine, you name it. 98% of what they're going to use on a farm we have in a 53,000 square foot warehouse in the east end of Richmond.
Seriously, I never knew that Virginia Farm Bureau, even with all of the association, with our show, they've been a sponsor from day one.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know you guys had products.
Most people think of the Farm Bureau as an insurance company.
Right.
Which we are, but also the product division is a member services thing. We do it strictly to help out the member. It's just another benefit of being a member of the Farm Bureau.
Okay, so what can a Farm Bureau member expect from the products?
Yes, typically the Farm Bureau member is going to save anywhere from 15 to probably close to 25% on products that they use on a daily basis. They're going to go to some of the retail shops and buy these products. Part of the benefit of being a member of the Farm Bureau is having access to all these products through the products division. Okay. We also have an open house twice a year, last Friday in September, last Friday in February. Members come in, show you membership card, get a 10% discount off everything in the warehouse.
Wow.
Yes.
So do you ever take the products out on the road? So like today we're in the Shenandoah Valley.
Mm-hmm.
Do you
I actually have a tire in the back of my truck that I went and picked up last night that I sold yesterday. Just waiting for the farmer to show them get it. But yes, we will send things out by UPS common carrier.
Okay.
A lot of times, I've got an 8-foot bed on the back of my truck. I got no problem filling it up and taking it.
Wherever you need it, you'll get it there, right?
Wherever. Virginia, Maryland, North Carolina, venturing into parts of Delaware.
Well, Billy, thanks. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
informing us, because I had no idea.
We appreciate the time.
All right.
Thank you.
Sure thing. Let's see who Jeff found.
And now we welcome to this segment Alan Gilbert. He's with James River Equipment Company in the Shenandoah Valley. Of course, James River is all over the place, but
Yes,
welcome
sir.
to our program.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Jeff.
And tell us a little bit about James River Equipment, the company itself.
James River Equipment is a family-owned business, been around decades. Goes from Northern Virginia all the way down into South Carolina. Over 20 stores, parts, sales, and service, John Deere and Kuhn equipment. Those are our specialties.
Alan, tell us about this tractor behind us and specifically about the technology that is available to today's farmer. Has changed dramatically in just one generation. In a matter of 15 to 20 years, we now have guidance systems. We have all sorts of systems that for operator comfort, where you can be in a tractor for 10 hours at a time and not even be tired.
That's true. That's true. It is.
So tell us about the operator comfort. What is new in today's tractor?
Okay. There's several things. Obviously, incorporating safety into what they do. That's one of the primary things. But with the operator comfort, they want to make sure that the operator is not too cold, not too warm. So it's very climate sensitive. There's several controls you have. Things like increased visibility. Things like added lights, mirrors. These are all on the final tier 4. For the fuel efficiency.
You bring up a good point, visibility. I hear of farmers putting cameras around the cab so they can actually see what's going on.
Sure.
Tell me about that.
They have that, different bundles you can get. Some you can get factory installed, others we can install on your tractor, even they're on different brand tractors. But a lot of satellite guidance, things like auto steer is out there now for the farmer, for the operator. It's just, they want to have the best maximum output they can get from their crops, from their input.
Some of the guidance systems, I remember when they were first introduced, it's been a few years now, and I think most farmers have come to appreciate the guidance systems. But when they first came out, we all thought about the big flatland farms in Kansas and Nebraska and the Dakotas. We never thought we'd see that here in Virginia necessarily, where you have smaller farms and you have more turns and hills and curves and rocks and fence posts and a lot of things to dodge.
Right.
How popular are the guidance systems in Virginia now?
They're getting more and more, more and more people now are getting that. Even put them on things like combines, tractors for their planters, for their hay balers, things like forage harvesters, sprayers. Because the input is so expensive, they have to make sure they can get the best coverage they can get. But like you said, Jeff, there were things aren't in squares like they're out in the West. Here, it's a lot of obstacles, and so farmers just have to be aware of what's out there so they can get the best output.
Now, getting back to operator comfort, you'll find now the technology inside the cab, things that we just didn't see 15, 20 years ago. There's all sorts of screens and USB hubs and Tell us about some of the things we'll see when we get in the cab.
Right, things you can see. Obviously, most have icons. That'll show what each one's for. But the screens you have will tell you things like your fuel efficiency. You can actually plug into what's on the back if it's a baler or a sprayer or a planter. It can tell you, like, as far as your field mapping, what's where, as far as going left or right. Ways to make you a better operator.
So if you're planting corn, it's going to let you know how many seeds per acre.
Right. There's a terrace coming up. Don't waste your seed there. This is good land here, plant it there. That's what it tells you. It's
amazing
fast,
technology. Yeah. Where are we going from here? What are tractors going to look like in 20 years from now? And I've seen some video. I've yet to see an actual tractor of an unmanned or robotic tractor. Right. Is that the future?
one thing I know about the future is there's definitely going to be green and yellow tractors anyway. I know that. I don't know what shape or size or configuration, but they will be green and yellow, and it'll be John Deere.
Thank you for sharing the technology with us. Mr. Alan
Gilbert.
Alan Gilbert with James River Equipment.
So we've made our way to the Dairyman Specialty booth here at the Virginia Farm Show, and I caught up with Steve Jones. And Steve, you're with De La Val.
Yes, I am.
Right? So anyone who's in the dairy industry is pretty familiar with that name.
Yeah, for sure.
Now you guys have moved into doing some robotic systems. Tell us a little bit about those.
So yeah, De La Val's been working on robotic milking systems for a little over 20 years now. Our company's based in Sweden, and we started that technology there and grew it in Europe. And over the last 5 to 10 years, we have robotic systems now in the US. So I think some of the older ones are getting to 9 and 10 years, and we have multiple size units. They fit in small family farms, 60 cows, all the way up to more commercial style farms.
Right. So what is the advantage for a dairy farmer when you're talking about robotics? What do they do that helps out the dairy farmer so much?
So one of the key things that we talk about now is labor. It's more and more an issue in all of agriculture. So we're looking at how can we allow people to grow without adding more labor, or actually just be able to do more with less. So we have some of that. And then on the milking side, the cows they just really love consistency. They love to be able to do whatever they want to do when they want to. They love just to be able to mosey around the barn and just be a cow. So what's great about a robotic system is that she can do that. She can come and
She's on her own, isn't she?
She is. She can come milk, she can go eat, she can do whatever she wants to do. While the dairyman knows, while not being there, that she got milked, how much production she's got, and all those things, and whether he needs to go take care of her. So he can actually see that without even going to the barn. So it allows him to be more profitable, more targeted in being profitable. So,
and the systems collect a lot of data on the cow itself, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
So you got information from when was she last milked, what conductivity did she have, lots and lots of pieces of information of that allows the dairyman to really manage their farm, to actually stay in business nowadays. We all hear about how hard it is for dairymen to stay in business. Well, this allows the dairyman to assess his business and make good business decisions on going forward.
Right. So what are some other products that De La Val offers that are cutting edge and high tech that farmers can use?
So we have automatic calf feeders. So this allows the calf in the same way to be able to go up and drink just as and when she would as if she was on her mother. It allows us to assess and grow that calf more profitably, and it makes a stronger, healthier calf.
Without overfeeding, because I'm assuming it would cut off knowing when the calf has had too much for that day.
Correct. So, and one of the unique things about that's pretty much unknown is that a calf, when it grows, when it has a growth spurt, it actually will drink less feed. So in a De La Val system, we actually allow that milk to carry over, so they're a little more hungrier after they've had a growth spurt, and they can take that feed back to them.
Okay. Wow. So much good stuff going on, and so many good products that are helping our farmers out. So I appreciate you taking the time to talk with us today, Steve.
Thank you, Amy. I'm pleased to stop by and ask.
That does it for our show this week.
We hope that you enjoyed our visit to the 2017 Virginia Farm Show in the Shenandoah Valley, Virginia. Amy, we had a great time, met some really interesting people.
We really did. It was a great time.
I'm Jeff Ishii.
And I'm Amy Rocher for Virginia Farming.
90 years ago, the Virginia Farm Bureau made our local farmers a promise to protect and preserve a way of life they work so hard to establish. We want to keep Virginia, Virginia. Anyone can be a Farm Bureau member, and there's a local Farm Bureau in every county. More information is at vafarmbureau.org.
Virginia soybean farmers are hard at work growing soybeans to produce products you use every day. Candles, soaps, even crayons can be made from soybeans. Remember, when you buy soy, you're helping to support American jobs, the economy, and our nation's energy security.
Would you like to put your business in front of rural America and the ag community every week? We have sponsorship opportunities available that will do just that. Get in touch with us to hatch a new plan.